it popping in live. We're at ProCam, getting some action going here. This is going to be our first time sharing live from ProCam. I'd like to announce we're going to do kind of a cool partnership between myself and ProCam, and hopefully we'll get some things going at the other stores as well. Hey, Bob Ray, Ken Nielsen, thanks for joining. Bob Ray, how's things? I'm sure you're going to have to reinvent yourself with the crisis in cruise ships that's happening. Bob Ray's got a great voice, knows a lot about radio and history. Hey, Sean, thanks for joining. So just a little idea of what's going on here. We're just going to run through some simple one light setups. And we're going to start off with an on-camera 600 EXRT. Got everything here. So we'll do on-camera first. See if I get, there we go, get it to buzz with the modeling light. Then we'll diffuse and bounce it with a small Omni Bounce. Then we'll keep evolving it with a mag sphere, a mag bounce, a grid, and then my favorite go-to, if I had to grab one light modifier running out of the house, it would be this. And this is the Westcott Halo. Now the big advantage for me with this is it's not just an umbrella and not just a shoot-through umbrella, but it's completely enclosed with the Halo. We could put the speed light inside, and we use all the energy. So whenever you use any type of shoot-through umbrella, the light is going to hit the front and it's going to bounce. So you lose a certain amount of energy doing that. But because the Halo is enclosed and it's a silver interior, it harnesses all that spill light, so to speak, and pushes it back forward. It's also very versatile in as much as if we need a little bit more specularity or deeper shadows, we can put the flash head forward and shoot through in a traditional shoot through. If we're looking for more diffusion, or you could say softer light, you could face the strobe head backwards to reflect into the silver, and then thereby increasing the distance of the light and diffusing it even more out the front for softer wraparound shadows. And the reason I like an umbrella over a softbox right away to go out as my one go-to light modifier is we could do a group, we could feather the edge and just light with just this edge and make it a hard light. We could make it a soft light. We could mimic a beauty dish by having it up over the subject pointing downward. It's just really a versatile tool, and it's not just for speed lights. You can use a strobe, you can use a continuous light such as a Stella inside this as well. So let me get things going here. I've got the camera set up and we're tethered. We're going to use a little flex light action here just to get the continuous light, right? I'll flip the camera around. I'll bring it over here over my shoulder. Let's see if you guys have any questions. Please drop them in the feed. And let's see, find the tools and get the camera the right way. There we go. And now I'll turn the camera around. So I'm going to be using the Canon EOS 1DX Mark III. And give me a thumbs up if audio's okay. Sorry for the production. It's just myself doing this. Got a little bit of a class going on here at ProCam. So if you're in the neighborhood, stop by. Come on down to ProCam in Aurora, Illinois. But yeah, here we go. So as I said, we're going to start off with evolving. Thanks for the thumbs up. On camera flash direct. Now here you can actually get a good look at the 1DX Mark III. And if I pop on live view here, we could actually see the face, head, eye detection. So once we lock it on and I activate focus, there we go. So no matter where I go, there's the eye, it goes to head, it goes to face. So if I zoom in and out, we got the blue box, it's an AI servo, but you only see this information in live view. While it still is going to do head detection in the viewfinder, you don't see it tracking like this because that happens in live view. Ken Nielsen, everything's clear, sounds good. Thank you. Randy Wong, thanks for joining. All right, so I've got the camera hardline tethered, and we're going to shoot into the MacBook Pro. So let's dig into this. We have a 600 EXRT on camera. And again, you guys have any questions, drop them in the feed, and that's what we're here for. So a lot of people always tell me, hey, you go out, you've got all this lighting gear, you know, I don't travel that way, I'm very simple, I have one light. What could I do with one light? Well, a lot. So let's start off with just seeing what one on-camera flash does. So we're going to pop a frame. It's in ETTL, which again, the 1DX Mark III is very good at because it ties the face, head, eye detection into the ETTL. So normally on a white background with normal TTL, this image would be very much underexposed because it sees all the white. So if I come up over here, we bring this image into an edit mode, you can see we've got a decent exposure, decent color right out of the box, right? Pretty cool. So it's nice. We could go anywhere with this image. The only thing is it's not a flattering light. It's just harsh, direct flash. It does the job at illuminating. So right away what we could do is change that up. Now we don't have any place in here to bounce the light because we are on a white cyc with a black ceiling. So even if we just took the flash head itself and turned it up and just extended the little white bounce card, we're going to improve the quality of light. So I'm going to do that. Here we go, we're popping that out. And now I'm going to take charge, so to speak, a little bit. We're going to be in manual mode. And because I'm bouncing, actually just spilling the light forward, I'm going to tell the flash from experience, I know we're going to need a little bit more flash output, but let's just see. We're just leaving it 60th f4 400 ISO. Boom, lock it in. And already, what a tremendous improvement. Now, as I shared with you, we have a black ceiling. There is nothing to bounce the light off of. So let's come back over here to the computer. And we'll back it out. Now we could see both images side by side. Now, you can see because it's spilling the light, and I'll post these later in the feed, that we've improved the image overall as there's no shadow. It's a nice, large, soft light. So let's make that photograph bigger. There we go. And we can come in closer. Not that close. We don't need 400%, but just 100%. And nice specularity in the eyes, nice soft shadow under the chin. So right away, just by bouncing, or I should say spilling, because we're really not bouncing the light into anything, right? It's just a little bounce card, and it's spilling the light forward because we have the black ceiling. There's nothing to bounce off of, but we are in kind of an easy environment, so to speak, because it's all white. So we get a nice neutral bounce. So let's go right away, and we're just going to add this little Omni Sto-Fen Bounce, which I use all the time. While I love MagMods, I don't love them on camera just because I carry two cameras and they get heavy after a while. So when I'm doing two flashes, one on camera, one off, I love the Mag Sphere for off camera. So just for spreading out and making the light source a little bit larger, let's add this. So I'm just putting on the bounce, keeping the flash in the same direction, and it's going to give us a little bit better quality of light, a little bit more volume of light. So we'll keep everything the same, lock in, focus right on the face, there we go, quick shot, there we go. All right, so that's in. Now, it's even a little bit softer because you could see between direct flash, the little bounce card extended, and now the Omni Bounce, which is even a little bit more flattering and softer because all we're doing is increasing the size of the light source. Now, before we even get this flash off camera, let's do one more just so you could see the difference. Is I'm going to grab the speed light and we're going to put on the Mag Sphere. Now, if I just had one on-camera flash modifier and I wasn't combining with others, you betcha I wouldn't stick with the small one. I'd want to go with the largest one possible. So I'm going to grab the mag rubber band, put it on the 600 EXRT, and we're going to use the sphere. I love the sphere because it's omnidirectional and it cascades light everywhere. All right, so, and instead of having the flash exactly straight up, because it sends light in a 360-degree direction, I want to force a little light forward. So what I like to do is just tilt it one click forward. By doing that, we're just spilling more light forward into the room. So again, same thing, focus right on her face, confirm focus, take the shot, boom! And you could see even better, even softer illumination, right? So just with one light, we're improving things tremendously from on-camera flash. And let's make that one a little bit bigger. Good. Better color, better specularity, nice wraparound, even a nicer flesh tone, because overall, it's spreading the light out. So in terms of softness, it's really not the light modifier itself that determines how soft a light is. It's the size and relative relationship to the subject. So this is a much larger light source. So by bringing it close to our subject, it's going to be a softer light. But if we move this umbrella all the way back over into the corner of the room, it's now relatively small in comparison to the subject, and it will become a harder light source. Same thing as if we take this mag sphere and point it direct, it becomes more of a smaller light source. Great. Overall, this is nice. It's diffused. It will work. But it's still very flat-like. I like a little character in my lighting, a little bit of direction. So let's get this flash off camera. So one of the main things we need to do with off-camera flash, especially with the 600 EXRTs, or any Canon one, or any flash that can do this, is we're going to go into the master mode. And then I like to be in groups mode because that's where all the creativity can fall in. But the next step is to go and scan the environment. By hitting scan, this is going to tell me how much radio frequency interference there is in the environment. While it has the capability of going auto, I often find it a challenge for the two to link up, especially in a high traffic environment such as a ballroom during a wedding. So you could see there's certain channels within the 2.4 gigahertz range that are suppressed. I always find it towards the end. 14 and 15 are always the strongest. So I just manually select that. Now, if you have multiple photographers using 600 EXRTs off camera, you can then put in an ID number so you don't get any crosstalk. So then everybody could be on channel 14. So I'm going to go back to the zoom head. And I'm going to set it at 35. Hey, George, thanks for letting us play in the studio. Hope we get up to Livonia and get to the other stores. Cheryl Watson, good seeing you. Hope things are doing well. Christopher, welcome for joining. Tammy, thank you. And you guys, drop any questions you have in the feed. And I got to switch this up because this is actually going to be the remote. So we're going to take this and put it in remote. It's going to be in group A because it's the only light we're using since we're staying with one light. And we're going to make it direct flash. Direct flash through the mag sphere. So this is kind of my go-to lighting for off-camera engagement sessions, details at weddings, everything. It's just one off-camera flash. And if I have to be outside in a run and gun situation, I'm going to keep the light modifiers small. So we're going to bring the flash off camera, point it at our wonderful model, and then I have to find where did I put my 600 EXRT is there, and then I have in one of these pockets, I know I brought it. There it is, the STE3. I feel like I'm in Fibber McGee's closet. There we go. So the STE3, you can see it linked up. We have the green light because we'll confirm again we're in the proper channel, 15, and the proper ID, so everything is linked up. And then we could go to groups if I want to. And you can see A is there. We'll do a test fire right away. Cool. All fired. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, only now we have the flash off camera pointed right at our subject. So same thing, we'll set it up, quick focus, take the shot. Now, this is where we're going to have to play around with our positioning of the light to determine, do we like the quality of the light, how's the shadow, how are things going. So we have a bit of a harsh shadow. So again, if you're in the area where you have time to deal with this, then we could feather that light, so to speak. So I want it up just a little bit, and I want this shadow to fall right into the crease of her nose. So we could do one of two things, but we're going to stick with the direct flash at first, and then we're going to evolve it. So we're going to bring it up just a little bit, downward, and a little bit closer in access with the lens. That's going to give us, hopefully, the look I want. But if you're really in a hurry, I'll show you what to do in a quick second. So we're going to come back, focus, take the shot, and that looks much better. I already saw it on the back of the camera, so we'll go to the next frame. Did it not transfer? Take one more, just to make sure. There it is. All right, so it transferred over. And yes, we're going to pull up edit image. Very pleasing, very nice light. So, and I'm not concerned with the shadow on the sweep, right? Because I'm going for a portrait. But I like where the shadow is. Let's see. There we go. Pull it in nice and close. I love shadows. Highlights, define. I'm sorry, highlight, light illuminates and shadows define, so it's falling right within the crease of her nose. Now, really quick, if we just wanted to immediately diffuse or soften that light a little bit more, we could do the same thing. Just raise the flash up. It's already tilted at a 45 degree. And we're going to get that diffused quality of light. So we're still in TTL, and the TTL is far more accurate with the new camera, with the 1DX Mark III, and I'm sure it's going to have the same ability as that with the new EOS R5. So look at this. This looks like umbrella quality light, and this is what I do all day long running and gunning. So there we go, very nice soft shadow, beautiful illumination, good exposure, good color. We could be done, right? But let's go one step further and show you another feature. This is my favorite light modifier for a cocktail hour. And this is the MagMod Bounce, because it already has the ability to push light forward and give you a little specularity because it's open in front. So we're just going to change that up really quick. And let's see if we could spot any difference in lighting. Like I said, this would be my cocktail hour light modifier. One light stand, I walk around off camera with it, and boom. Even nicer quality of light. The whole goal is to create a larger light source to be diffused. So this is nice, very nice. So we'll bring it in bigger, take a look, soft shadow, soft shadows under the chin. I still love to have specularity in the eyes. So if I move this light too far up in height, we're going to lose this highlight and specularity in the eyes. I love having specularity in the eye because for me it brings the image to life. So I don't want to keep you guys too long. I want to keep these nice and short and sweet. Mr. Bill Skinner, Dion, welcome, cool. All right, so let's trade this up right away and show you the versatility of the halo. So what I have done on occasion, and I did this once to get really good diffusion, I was photographing Hillary Clinton in New York at the Lincoln Center, and I had like 5 minutes to do a quick portrait of her. And, you know, she was having a hard time on the campaign trail, and she had a lot of bags under her eyes. So we needed more diffusion. So what I did is I actually left the mag sphere on, because that gave us another level of diffusion. With me? All right. And then I bounced the flash head into the halo. So watch how soft, I struggle with the word soft, but more diffused the light will become. Now, yes, this is going to take more energy from your speed light to do that. So your recycle time is going to be slower, or you could gang up multiple speed lights, or use an external battery pack. I use the PowerX 2700 milliamp Pro batteries by Maha, and that gives me a good recycle time. All right, and we're going to turn this flash head this way. There we go. Secure it in the umbrella shaft, and then I'm going to pull it over. Remember, I'm aiming it toward the back to get an increased amount of diffusion. And this has Velcro, so we could close it up. And now we've just really made this a large light source compared to our subject. So I'm going to bring it in here. Now you could just start off pointing the center shaft right at her face. There we go. And it's going to get a nice wraparound light. You guys can see that, right? Ricky Pratt, welcome. All right. So now let's see if I need to increase ISO or increase anything. We're going to see how this works. Outstanding. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Cool. So what I'm going to do is let's make this an actual nice portrait. I'm going to go vertical. Come in a little bit closer. Keep her hands in there. There you go. Awesome. Beautiful. Now, here we go. Image is in. Bring it over. And we'll bring it to edit image. So look at this. I'll bring you guys in really close. So this is just an outstanding quality of light. Beautiful, soft shadow. I think we could raise it up a little bit, and it just wraps around. Even on the shadow side, there's plenty of detail. So what I'm going to do is we're at a 60th of a second, so I think I'm picking up some of the light panel. What I'm going to do is we're going to go for a little bit edgier light, and then I'm going to increase the shutter speed. We're going to get less bounce. So I'm going to twist the halo, so we're actually just lighting with the edge of it. Remember, we're on a white cyc, so we're getting a lot of bounce because it is white, but that's okay. I'm going to come in a little closer. Beautiful. Line it up. Awesome. Loving the face and eye detect and live view. Stunning. This is great. This is great. Let's back out of this image, and here's the second one. So seriously, because this light is buttery smooth, so diffused, really nice, it's going to minimize any retouching you're going to do, because the deeper your shadows, the harder the light, the more it picks up on any type of blemishes, which increases your retouching. Now in reality, it's just the iPhone, the way it's reproducing. There is not a hot spot here. It's very soft, even light all the way around. So if I wanted to make this even a little bit more, we could say masculine lighting, I'm going to turn the halo a little bit more to the edge, and I'm going to remove the diffusion dome, and right now the flash head is facing toward the back. We're going to point the flash head forward, just so I could share with you how versatile this light modifier is. So I'm removing the dome, I'm pointing the head forward. Dome is out. That really increased diffusion. Now we've just made this a harder light source by placing the flash head more forward, and I'm really just going to use this sliver of the edge of the light, even though the flash head is pointing forward. So we're going to get more shadow, deeper shadow, and more less specularity and a deeper shadow. There we go. Really nice, good. But what just happened is because I am so close to the white cyc, look what happened. Let's bring this in. Being on the white cyc, it really softened everything because the umbrella is now coming this way and it's bouncing off of all the white and made it truly even softer. So let's turn it the opposite way. See if I could get a nice edge light happening here. Turn it away from this wall. Good. Because we're surrounded by white walls. And that did it, right? There you can see the difference. So this one, the light was bouncing off of all of the cyc all around over here. By changing the position of the halo, I'm now making it a harder edge and just bouncing off the one wall. But even though the shadows are deeper, because it's a large light source, they're softer. There's still tons and tons and tons of detail in there. Cool. Well, if there's any other questions you guys have, anything else you want to see, drop it in the feed. We're going to do, let me flip the camera around here. There we go. We plan on doing more of these, going live from ProCam, and do some more tutorials, lighting. I'm going to try and make these at least twice a month or once a week, schedule permitting, shoots permitting. And so next week we'll evolve it to 2 lights, an on camera and an off camera for fill, and we can play around with other vignettes. Remember, ProCam is here. They're a great resource, so use them. Come into the store, you could try things, you could try a tripod, you can play with lighting, whatever you need to try you could play with, and then you could put it toward a rental or towards a purchase. We got to keep these great resources in our community so we have knowledge to tap into. You have a huge studio here to play in and rent, so again, use ProCam as your resource, and check out bobanddawndavis.com, our workshops, and I'll put all of our links, our social media links within the notes later on. And then we're also going to post this to ProCam's YouTube page and my YouTube page. And put any questions you might have in the feed and what you guys want to see in the future. Thanks again for tuning in. Oh, here, let's go through a couple of these questions. What size is the halo? I believe it's 43 inches. It's not 53, 48 or 43. I'd have to look it up. I don't have it memorized. But it's not super big at all. And it's on an umbrella shaft, so it's very compact and it travels well. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Talk to you later.